Very good morning, students. Welcome to biology classes. Today we are going to see 12th science biology and we are going to see the next topics of chapter number 10, that is microbes in the human welfare. In the previous video, we have seen about the household application and the industrial application, that at in-house work as well as at the industrial level, what type of microbes are used in different processes. Today we are going to see about the types of chemicals, right, enzymes as well as the bioactive agents which are being used to produce any of the substance. Right now we are going to see the different type of microorganism, and along with that microorganism we are going to see that what kind of substances are produced. So the first is the fungus Aspergillus niger, right? So Aspergillus niger is the fungus which is useful for the production of the citric acid. So citric acid, if we want to produce citric acid at an industrial level, then we are needed to use this fungus for when we are able or when we need to produce the citric acid. Same way, next is the bacterium Acetobacter aceti, right? So if we want to produce acetic acid, then this bacterium is being used, right? Next is the bacterium Clostridium butylicum. This Clostridium butylicum, it is responsible for the production of the substance which is known as butyric acid. Same way, the bacterium Lactobacillus, this is responsible for the production of the lactic acid, right? Next is the yeast S. cerevisiae, that means this Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So this yeast is useful when the fermentation takes place. So it is going to produce what? The ethanol, that is a type of alcohol. Next is the bacterium Streptococcus, and this Streptococcus, it is going to form streptokinase. This is an enzyme, and this streptokinase enzyme is used as a clot buster for removing the clots from blood vessels of the patients in myocardial infarction. So the person who is undergoing the like the particular myocardial infarction, that is the increase in the cholesterol level. So what happens, the deposition of fats occurs inside the blood vessels. So for removing the clots from this blood vessels, what happened, this streptokinase enzyme is used, and it forms, this enzyme is sent to that particular place and then it bursts over there. So with the help of this particular clot buster, so the streptokinase, it is used as a clot buster. So it is going to remove all the clots right from the blood vessels. So that is the bacterium Streptococcus. From the Streptococcus, which enzyme is formed? The streptokinase. Next is the fungus, that is Trichoderma polysporum, right? This fungus is responsible for the production of the cyclosporin A, right? And this cyclosporin A, it is used as an immune suppressive agent in organ transplantation. That means if a particular patient is undergoing the transplantation of the organs, right? That is organ transplanted, right? That is, if a patient whose liver is not working, then you are going for the liver transplantation, right? So another person liver is being transplanted into the patient's body, right? So the two of the organs are of different, that is the body of the patient sometimes does not accept the other organisms, or for example other organs from another person. So at that time the cyclosporin A is being given to suppress such immune response, so that if the immune response is suppressed at that time, what happens, it does not just reject the particular organ transplant. Next is the yeast Monascus purpuris, right? This yeast is useful, or it is responsible for the production of the statins. This statins, it is functioning for the lowering of the blood cholesterol levels. So if the cholesterol levels is higher in a particular patient's body, then they are being given the statins, and with the help of the statins the cholesterol level decreases. So these are the different types of the chemicals, enzymes, as well as the bioactive enzymes which are responsible or which are being derived from several different types of microorganisms, right? Next is, now we are going to see the sewage treatment, right? So what are the microbes which are involved, that how the microbes are useful in the sewage treatment as well as the biogas production, right? So first we are going to see the microbes in the sewage treatment, right? So in the sewage treatment, the sewage basically consists of human excreta. So whatever excretion the humans are taking out, right, this is the main basic sewage which is observed, right? Now it may contain many microbes which may be pathogenic also. Now if a person has been infected by several infectious virus or bacteria or any other pathogens, right, that particular person if passes the stool, right, so that is also going to contain such pathogenic microbes, right? So if a particular this microbes are not being treated, then it may spread, right? So for this reason the sewage is needed to be what it should be filtered, and it should be undergone with a several treatment, right? So the sewage disposal is a huge problem. So in India as well as like in the wherever we live, right, the disposable of the sewage, it is a major problem which is observed in this days, right? Now it cannot be directly disposed into the rivers and streams. Now you know that it is a kind of sewage, so it cannot be discarded inside the rivers or the water streams, right? So for this reason, it has to be treated first in the sewage treatment plants. These sewage treatment plants are simply said to be STPs. Don't get confused between STD and STP, right? STP are the sewage treatment plants. So before sending or before disposing it in the rivers and the water streams, first they are undergoing the treatment, and there other and in that particular region the treatment of that sewage takes place, right? Now the heterotrophic microbes present in the sewage itself aids in its treatment. Now whatever microbes which are present inside that sewage, those microbes are only going to do what? The treatment, right? So the treatment of the sewage, it includes two stages, right? The first stage is the primary treatment and the second stage is the secondary treatment, right? Now we are going to see about the two different types of treatment which is seen in the sewage treatment. First, we will see about the primary treatment. In the primary treatment, it involves a physical removal of particles by filtration and sedimentation. First, filtration means to filter, and sedimentation, that means to whatever particular particles which are having more molecular weight, they all are settled down. So that is the process of sedimentation. So two things are occurring in the primary treatment. First is the filtration and second is the sedimentation, right? Now, firstly, initially what is carried out? The sequential filtration, and this sequential filtration is useful to remove the floating debris, right? Floating debris, that means whatever is being floating on the surface of the sewage water, right? So whatever is floating, this all the debris are being removed out, right? So that is the initial, that is said to be the sequential filtration. After that, what they are doing is the grete, that is the fusion of the soil as well as the small pebbles. Small pebbles are nothing but small stones are there, right? So the soil as well as small stones, this all are removed with the process of sedimentation, because as this particular soil as well as the small pebbles, they contain more molecular weight, and for this reason they are sedimented and on the downward side, right? So the solids that settle down from the sludge while the supernatant forms the effluent. So now two things are formed, right? The upper portion, which is going to contain what? Only and only the effluent, that is the liquid portion, right? That is the sewage water. And whatever solid portion is there, that is all settled down, which is said to be the sludge, right? So two things are formed in the sedimentation. The upper watery region, it is said to be the effluent, and the lower portion which is settled at the downward side, that is known as sludge, right? So this much you have to write in the primary treatment. In the secondary treatment, now we are going to take this effluent, and this effluent is being passed into an aeration tank, right? This aeration tank means a tank in which the aeration, that is the air, is passed, right? So the effluent is passed with onto the aeration tank, and in the aeration tank, the constant agitation means the constant mixing of the effluent takes place, right? So when the air is pumped, right, at that time the vigorous growth of bacteria, it forms the floc formation, right? Floc means they form small like bulks like structures, that means small balls are formed, and this is said to be the floc formation. That is all the bacteria upon getting the air, right? The growth increases, and when the growth increases, what happens? They stick to each other, forming small flocks, right? Small ball like flocks are formed, and when these flocks are formed, the consumption of organic matter is taken by the bacteria. So whatever bacteria are present inside that effluent, all the bacteria, they are going to consume all the organic matter which is present in the sewage water, right? And this way it decreases the BOD, that is the biological oxygen demand, right? So when it decreases the biological oxygen demand, right, that no oxygen or no further things will be present which is needed to be decreased, right? So once this particular the effluent microbes itself, they are going for the flock formation, they are itself going to consume all the organic matter, and this way, as they are forming the flocks, the effluent becomes clear, right? And this way all the flocks are being carried out, and this way the sewage is being treated, right? BOD is what? It is the amount of oxygen required by bacteria to oxidize all the organic matter present in the effluent. So that is what, that how much amount of oxygen is needed to like oxidize all the organic matters which are present in the effluent, right? So that is what the biological oxygen demand. That much how much oxygen is being demanded by the bacteria for degrading or for oxidizing the organic matter, right? Now, naturally, if organic matter decreases, BOD decreases, and if BOD decreases, the pollution decreases. Now, your pollution means which pollution? The water pollution, right? Because this effluent is further being added inside the water streams or in the rivers, right? So, naturally, if the particular amount of organic matter decreases, then the BOD also decreases, and if the BOD decreases, the water pollution decreases. So this is about the secondary treatment which is observed in the sewage, right? Now, for that you need to also understand about the flock, right? So what exactly a flock is? So flock is something that is containing bacteria as well as the fungal filaments. That means, see, the bacteria and the fungus which is present inside the particular sewage, right? Those all things are combining with each other to form a mesh like structures, that is, they create a net like structures, and this is said to be the flock, that is bacteria and the fungal filaments. These two of them combine with each other to form the flock. Now, when the BOD and hence pollution is reduced, effluent is passed into a settling tank, right? So once the flock are formed, they are passed to the settling tank, where the settling tank means the now the bacteria and fungi, they are fused with each other to form the flocks. Now for flocks is comparatively having more molecular weight, so when they are passed to the settling tank, the settling of those flocks occur in this tank, right? So when the settling takes place, right, this particular process is known as the activated sludge. So whatever flock is formed at the down, a layer is formed, and this layer is said to be the activated sludge. So if it is asked that what is activated sludge, then it is what, when the flocks are passed into the, or when the effluent is passed which is containing the flock inside the settling tank, the flocks get settled down, and it forms a layer, and this layer is known as activated sludge. Now, what is the fate of activated sludge? So first is small part pumped back to aeration tank where it acts as flock for the next cycle. So again, these flocks are being, small part of this particular activated sludge is again sent to the first tank, that is the sedimentation tank, right, where the sedimentation was taking place in the primary treatment, right? So what it is going to act, it is going to act as a flock. That means already the bacteria and the fungus are present in that flock. So if you are adding that in the previous one, the process becomes, the time consuming like process becomes shorter, right? And second is the remaining part is pumped into anaerobic sludge digesters, right? Up till now it was being aerated, that is the aeration was taking place, but now after this, the activated sludge, this particular sludge, like this particular activated sludge is passed to the anaerobic sludge digesters. That means here anaerobic sludge digesters means here there will be no aeration, that is no air is passing inside it, right? For this reason it is said to be the anaerobic sludge digesters. Digesters means it is going to digest the sludge, right? Now, in anaerobic sludge digesters, anaerobic bacteria act on the activated sludge to produce biogas. So here in this particular anaerobic sludge digesters, the biogas is produced, right? And along with the biogas, that is the different types of gas which is said to be the biogas, right? So here what happened? As the air is not present, so only and only the anaerobic bacteria, they are going to act upon the sludge, and when they are acting upon that sludge, they are going to form the biogas. Clear? So the effluent from the secondary treatment plant is released into the water body. So now all the um, bad things or all the sewage is being taken outside, and the effluent which is left over, right, which is not containing any more harmful bodies or harmful pathogens, they all are discarded into the water bodies, right? And microbial technology for sewage treatment is so effective that no human technology has been able to beat it till date. So this particular microbial technology, why it is said to be a microbial technology? Because the microbes itself, they are going for the treatment of the sewage, right? We are not adding additional microbes from outside inside, like inside the tanks, to make it pure or make it proper, right? But for the treatment of this particular sewage, the sewage bacteria, or we can say sewage microbes, are itself responsible for treating it. For this reason, this technology is said to be the microbial technology, right? So up till here, this is all about the today's topic, and that is the sewage treatment, right? So I hope you are very clear with today's topic, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.